guys, welcome back to my Diary of an Army Girlfriend series. This is going to be part 6 and it's going to be all about AIT or Advanced Individual Training, which is what happens after your soldier graduates from basic. And it's where they learn about their specialized MOS, less of the physical training and more classroom style training. Unless your soldier is doing OSUT, which is one station unit training, which means that they stay at one post for the duration of their training. The day after their basic graduation, which usually happens on a Thursday, they all board on to buses and planes that next following Friday, like the next morning. They're all on buses and trains to their next post. I've seen a lot of people, mostly parents, asking if they're allowed to drive their soldier to the airport or whatever, and no, you cannot. The Army provides their transportation. So if I was you, I would really enjoy my 2 to 3 days of basic graduation and family day, because that next day they're off to their next station. They get onto their buses, their planes, and they have their phones, so you're probably like texting them like, oh my god, how are you? Oh my god, this is so great, I can text you again. Which I know I definitely did. I was texting like a maniac. Once they get there, they have to process in. It's nowhere near as long as reception in basic is, because in basic there's just a lot more paperwork and stuff going on. It's usually over with within a few hours, and then they're settling into their new living space for the next however many weeks that they're in AIT. In basic, the soldiers all shared one large communal room, and they had bunk beds, and they all slept in the same room. However many people were in their company were all in one room. And once they're in AIT, they're generally just like with one roommate, maybe two. It's kind of like a college dorm room. So your soldier's gonna spend basically the weekend getting settled in, meeting their roommates and all the people on their floor or whatever. And then hopefully, if they're lucky, their classes will start that following week and they will be on their way to finishing their AIT. I know that some soldiers get held over for a week or two, sometimes a month, because there are too many soldiers coming in for the training and they just don't have enough room in the classes. So my soldier was one of the unfortunate ones that got held over for a couple of weeks, and at first you may be like, well, what are they gonna do there while they're not in their classes? Like, why can't they just go home? Because I know I definitely thought that question. To keep the soldiers busy, they might give them some sort of a duty around the post. Maybe they'll be on CQ or on driver duty, something on the post helping out, being part of the community. And if they're not doing some sort of a duty, they can be training for their PT tests. So the topic that I know all of you want me to cover is, do they get their phones? Do they get their computers? Can they communicate with us? And the answer is yes. Each post varies with their rules on electronics. I know that some posts don't give them their phones for 2 to 3 weeks. Some of them only give them their phones on the weekends. Some of them give them their phones when they phase up from black phase to gold phase. My boyfriend's post was one of the great posts that he basically has his phone from day one. He does have some restrictions on phone availability. He cannot have his phone on him during duty hours of the day, which is when most people are in class and supposed to be learning. So your soldier can't be sitting there texting away, ignoring all the instruction going on. They're there to learn, not to text and go on Facebook. So my boyfriend usually goes and gets his phone after classes, and then he usually heads to chow, and then maybe he'll go do some PT or just hang out in his room until bed check. And of course it's not limited to texting. Like, I've FaceTimed a couple of times with my boyfriend. The immediate contact is just so great, and you get to hear their voice and see their face and just talk to them. It's just so much better than letter writing. As much as I loved writing letters in basic, once he got to AIT, we haven't written a letter since. Mostly because we do get to talk immediately, so any issues we want to talk about, I just send him a text and I wait for his reply that way. And I don't know about other posts, but I'm pretty sure no sergeants are going around picking up mail for them and handing it out. If they want to go get mail, they have to go to the mailroom themselves. And that's going to lead me to my final topic that I want to talk about in this video, and that is what you can mail to your soldier. In basic, you could basically only mail them what fit into a standard size envelope, or essential non-scented boring things and non-flavored menthols and all this really basic stuff. You can pretty much send them whatever you want in AIT. I don't know about all posts. At my boyfriend's post, he is not allowed to have food kept in his room, so I haven't sent him any food. But I have mailed him some clothing. I know that the Army allows black PT socks now, and he got sick and tired of his white socks, so I sent him a whole bunch of socks. I never thought that I would buy my boyfriend socks. It feels like such a motherly thing to do, but I bought him socks. And after they phase up to gold phase, they're allowed to wear their civvies, or civilian clothes. So if you want, you can send them some civilian clothes, or if you want to send them anything from home, like if they have a laptop that you didn't bring to basic graduation, you can mail it to them. And of course you can send them like a really cheesy, adorable care package. I know that I still really want to do that, I just haven't done it yet, but I'm definitely going to be doing that to embarrass him just a little bit. I just gotta figure out what I'm gonna put into it since I can't send him food, and I feel like a majority of those are just overflowing with food, and I can't send him food. Unless I want him to just sit there and like shovel like 20 different kinds of junk food into his face so he doesn't have to throw it away, but I also don't want him to get really, really ill, so I don't think I'm gonna do that. So I think this is going to wrap up this video. I really had issues thinking of things to talk about now that he's in AIT, because it's so normal, especially compared to basic, that it's hard to think of things to talk about. It's just felt like normal living. Like, what am I gonna say that's so profound and different and like really gonna help people through it? Because it's not as emotionally draining and emotionally stressful now. I feel like it's much more bearable since I can have contact with him pretty much every single day. So if you guys have anything you have questions about with AIT or anything else Army related and training related, feel free to leave me suggestions for my next video in the comments down below, because now I'm really just like out of ideas. Like, what do you guys want to hear about? Because I'd love to keep making these videos, but it's hard to think of things to talk about when life is normal. And thank you guys so much for watching this 6th video. If you haven't seen the others, I will have them all linked in the description down below. And if you're not already subscribed, you totally should, so you hear from my next video, and I'll see you guys then. Bye!